Hi, I'm Emily and I'm obsessed with Halloween. Today on my channel I'm starting a month-long vlogging Halloween spectacular project, and the main thing about my project is that I wear a different Halloween shirt or dress or something every single day of the month of October. And so what I wanted to do this month was incorporate that into my reading and to my channel. And so if nothing else, every day this month I'm going to pick up my camera, show you guys my outfit, and then that might be it. You know, each day you'll get a clip of me doing that at least. But I'm hoping to read some spooky books or some things that have purpose for October or fall or whatever, and it's just gonna be the best month. I'm so excited about my reading, my outfits, my makeup, my decorations you can see here, and you'll see at the beginning of this video a little like sweep through of my apartment decorations for Halloween. So I've actually been celebrating since September 1st, so love that for me. But yeah, I thought for today I would show you my shirt, obviously, which this is just a simple like Walmart shirt. It says Wicked. I have had people mistake it for the musical shirt, and I just tell them it's the Walmart brand Wicked. But I also thought that I would get on here really quick, talk about some books I tentatively may read in October, things I want to really read, and yeah, let's get right into it. So my number one priority is to read volumes 10 through 13 of My Hero Academia in anticipation for season 4 of the anime coming out, which I'm so excited about. And that may not make much sense because you know, season 4 will cover like the most recently published volumes. But what I've been doing and what I've done since the beginning of me discovering My Hero Academia is I watched the anime first and then I started reading the manga. So when I read volumes 10 through 13, if I'm correct, I will have read through where season 3 ends, and then I'll watch season 4 and then read the rest of the manga, and then be completely caught up for when the next season comes out, etc. etc. So I've got to read volume 10, volume 11, volume 12, and volume 13. And I'm super excited about all of these. And I think I'll be able to do it. I actually think the next season starts on October 12th or 15th. So I've got like 2 weeks before I need to have all 4 of these read. And each of these takes me about an hour and a half to read. So I think I can definitely do it. I have to read 4 books for my multicultural literature for children and young adults class. One of those is Esperanza Rising. I've actually never read this before, I don't think. I know it's like a classic and I don't really know what it's about, and I want to go into it without that, but I checked this out from my library that I work in, and I might listen to the audiobook if I get close to crunch time and need to have this finished, but this is one of the ones I'm reading for class. And the other, well, I have to read 3 other ones, but another one is The Poet X, which will be a reread for me, but this time I'm reading it physically. The first time I read it, it was on audio. I gave it 5 stars, so I'm hoping that this closer, more analytical read will be enjoyable and I'll get to remember why I loved it so much. I don't remember the other 2 books. I know one of them is called Lowriders to the Center of the Universe or something like that, and then I think I'm reading one called Lucky Broken Girl. I don't remember the authors of those, but I'll put them down in the description and the books I mentioned. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about some books that I would like to read, but it's not a big deal if I don't read them. But several of these have been on my TBR for a really long time, and so I would like to get them done and I've kind of been saving them for this month particularly, or specifically. The first one is The Poison Garden by Sarah Singleton. I don't really know what this is about either, but I really like the cover, and it gives me spooky vibes with this skull on it. Let me just read you the back. It says, Thomas has inherited a magical box from his dead grandmother, which provides entry into a mysterious garden where her ghost warns him she was poisoned. For once, she belonged to an arcane guild whose members each cultivated a garden and mastered the arts of poison, perfume, and medicine. The remaining guild members jostle for power as one by one they are murdered. Can Thomas solve the mystery before he in turn is threatened? So, sounds really good to me. It kind of reminds me of like The Secret Garden meets like the Diviners, kind of. But yeah, I'm excited to try this one out. The other one that's been on my TBR for super long time that I would like to get done because it's a thriller is 17 and Gone by Nova Ren Suma. I don't know what this one is about either, which, you know, I keep saying that, but I think it's just because like they're kind of like thrillery and I would like to not know a super lot. Let me see what the dust jacket says. 17-year-old Lauren is having visions of girls who have gone missing, and all these girls have just one thing in common. They are 17 and gone without a trace. As Lauren struggles to shake these visions, impossible questions demand urgent answers. Why are the girls speaking to Lauren? How can she help them? And is she next? Through Lauren's search for clues, things begin to unravel, and when a brush with death lands Lauren in the hospital, a shocking truth changes everything. So, yeah, that's this one. Excited to try to get to this one. The next two are continuations in series that I started last year, and I would like to finish the series sooner rather than later, but I have these two sequels and would like to get them done in this spooky season. The first one is The Evolution of Mara Dyer. I read The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer last year and I liked it fine. I really like paranormal ghosty stories, and so I would like to continue this. This is a chunker of a book, and I just haven't picked it up because of that reason, and also like I just haven't heard the best things about this series. Like, you either love it or you hate it, and I'm kind of in the middle. Like, the first book was just fine for me, so I don't know how to feel about this one. But since it is a spooky season and it's paranormal, I'm gonna try to get this one completed. Let me see how many pages this is. This is 527 pages. This one will be difficult to tackle, but maybe I can find an audiobook for it and we'll see what happens. The other sequel that I would like to get to is The Nightmare Dilemma by Mindee Arnett. And this is the sequel to The Nightmare Affair, which is in the Arkwell Academy series, I believe. This is a series about this girl who is literally a nightmare. She goes into people's dreams and makes them have nightmares, essentially. And in the first book, there were lots of shenanigans around that, and there was, it's kind of a murder mystery in the first one. I might need to like go back and reread the first one or like skim through it because I don't remember a whole lot of it, but I do want to continue the series and finish it out. I think it's a trilogy, but I'm not 100% positive on that, but it's fairly short and I am interested enough to continue on with this series. Okay, and these next two are just random books that I have on my TBR that I think would fit the season really well. The first one is The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw, and this is just one of the most gorgeous books I've ever seen in my life. All of this like hollow silver stuff on here, it's like raised and it's beautiful. I thought that I had read this and given it like 3 stars, but I went back through all my books I read in 2018 And I think I was confusing this for Sea Witch for some reason. It doesn't make any sense, but I was confusing the two. And I have not read this yet, and I'm very excited because I love witchy stories. And so I think this is about these three witches lure boys to their deaths, or like make them kill something or another. This is a terrible description of this, but I've heard really, really great things. And I think Julie from Pages and Pens really, really likes this book. But I'm very excited about this one. And the last one on my TBR are like, I don't even know if I'd call it a TBR, but just like hope to get to it potentially. I don't know. Last month I read 17 books, and so I would love to keep like doing that, but I just don't know what's gonna happen. So the last one on my list is The Devouring Gray by Lynn Herman, and this has been compared to the Raven Cycle series, which I just finished in September. I read all 4 of the books, and I don't want to compare them because I've heard like if you don't compare those books to this one, you'll enjoy it more. But so I'm gonna go in like with a clear slate and just read this for what it is. And this is about, I believe this is about like a small town where people have powers, and they have these like woods. It's the gray, and it's there's some kind of beast, and it attacks people. I don't know for sure. I kind of want to go in not knowing that much again, but this is also an incredibly beautiful cover. And I see a tarot card up here, and I'm like super interested in tarot right now. And so I'm excited if it has those elements in it. Book reviews due at the end of this week. So I'll be reading the 4 books I mentioned for class, and probably not much of anything else. I do plan, my first audiobook I'm going to read for the month is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, because it meets one of my Pop Sugar challenges for the year. And I also think that since it's kind of a murder mystery detective thing, it will fit really well into the season. So that's on the agenda as well. But yeah, that's my update for right now, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow when I have a different Halloween outfit on, and when I hopefully have a reading update. But until then, I will talk to you guys later. Hi friends, I just got home from work, and as an adult, I made the executive decision that tonight for dinner I'm making chocolate chip pancakes, because that's what I want, and it's fast and easy, and that's just what I feel like cooking. So I thought I would have a chit chat with you guys while I make the batter. I'm just using Bisquick and soy milk, and it calls for an egg. And then I use, you can't really see them, let me show you. I use Enjoy Life chocolate chips. They don't have any dairy. They're actually free from like almost all, if not all, allergens. The only ingredients are cane sugar, unsweetened chocolate, and cocoa butter. So we love that. This is how I survive, because when I need a chocolate fix, I just eat a bunch of these guys. But yeah, I did not read anything except for my library management textbook last night, because I procrastinated on an assignment for my youth programs class for too long, and I had to finish that last night. And so yeah, by the time I finished with the reading and the assignment, it was already like 10 o'clock. So I just went to bed and played on my phone, because every night I have to play Words with Friends and Bejeweled Blitz, because I have to get on there to get the daily like gifts and stuff, like rewards for signing in daily. And those are like the only 2 games I play on my phone. So yeah, that's what I do when I lay down in bed, and then I usually scroll TikTok for a long time and Pinterest and whatever other social medias I haven't looked at during the day. Tonight I'm planning on reading as much of The Poet X as I possibly can, and maybe try to start Esperanza Rising as well, and that should be like a lot of the night. I'm only like 30 pages into The Poet X right now, because I just like briefly started it the other night before bed. But since it's in verse, it should go by really fast, and and since I've already read it, it should go by fast as well. Also, here's today's Halloween shirt. It's frickin' bats, so love that. I actually don't like this shirt very much, just like because of the way it fits me. The sleeves are super short and it's not very flattering, and it shows pit stains really bad, and I am not a fan of that. So overall, not one of my favorite Halloween shirts I have. It will probably get replaced in the near future. Yeah. But I don't think I mentioned this yesterday when I did the intro for this series or whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm gonna be doing weekly vlogs for the whole month. I know I said I'm gonna daily vlog, but like I'm gonna post at the end of each week, because a whole month-long vlog would be like 3 hours long, I think. For now, I'm gonna go make my dinner and eat it, and then I will talk to you guys after I read something. I just finished part 1 of The Poet X, and reading this instead of listening to it on the audiobook is a really good experience. I'm really glad I decided to do this, because I'm catching lines that I either don't remember or that I missed, or just like the importance of some of the things that the main character is saying. And I think the reason I really liked the audiobook is because the narrator is able to dictate the verse and say exactly how the author had it, imagined. Whereas in this, you don't necessarily pick up on the rhymes or the scheme or whatever, and not all of them do rhyme, but you get to look more into it analytically, and that's the whole point of reading this for this class, is to analyze the merit of it for like its cultural accuracy and things like that. And I'm loving it just as much as I did the first time, so I'm super glad that I am rereading this. And I'm on page 95, and so I'm going to take a break for a little bit, and then I'll come back to this later, but I just wanted to give a quick update about my progress. If this isn't the prettiest pumpkin mug you've ever seen in your whole life, I need you to send me evidence of a prettier one, because I don't think that there is one, and I'm in love with it, and I'm just gonna happily drink my chocolate milk out of this and have the best time indulging myself on this spookiest of seasons. I'm now at page 170 in The Poet X, and I'm still really liking the reread, and there's just some things that I completely forgot about, and I am really liking like revisiting the story and just like seeing how much Xiomara is struggling with like what she's being told she's supposed to believe in and what she actually believes in. And I really like the discussion of religion and like the context based on her beliefs versus what is being forced upon her by her parents. And so I'm excited to keep reading. I'm like 50 pages away from part 3, but I'm gonna wrap up for tonight and go lay down / get ready for bed. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello. I am just finishing up dinner, and I just watched the first episode of the new season of Bob's Burgers, so yay, so excited. I guess it's like coming out on Hulu as the episodes air. I didn't realize that they wouldn't like put the whole, season on at one time, but that's super exciting. And I finished Esperanza Rising today. I started the audiobook this morning while I was putting on my makeup, and then I finished it at work because it was only like a 4.5-hour audiobook, and it was good. I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't know if you guys know what it's about, but it's about this girl named Esperanza. She and her mom and her father live on a ranch in Mexico, and they're a pretty wealthy family. And then one day her father is murdered by bandits, and it is set in the 1930s. And so after that, Esperanza's uncle, who is like he owns the major bank in their city or something, and he comes to the mom and is basically like, hey, so sad story for you, I own all of the property on this land now, and so either you marry me or you move out, and that's that. And so Esperanza and her mom and some of the servants that live there all flee to the US, and Esperanza has to learn how to check her privilege because now she has to work for a living, and it's really good commentary on privilege and stereotyping and things like that. And it's a little dated. There are some things I didn't like in it, just in terms of ways that things were phrased, but overall it was pretty good. I'm not gonna rate it, but yeah, so that was my first book I read in October. I don't know what my plans are for the night. I probably need to do homework. I don't really want to, but sometimes you gotta do things you don't want to do. Let me show you my spooky outfit for today. Okay, so I know the lighting is not super great right here. I have you propped up on my bookshelves, but I'm wearing this Nightmare Before Christmas shirt, and this is my favorite Disney movie, if you didn't know. I got this last year for the 25th anniversary of The Nightmare Before Christmas. I bought it at Hot Topic, and the back has all these locations from the movie on it, and it's super comfy. And I love these ringer tees, and then these paper bag jeans are my new obsession. I don't know how well you can see them, but I got them on sale from Forever 21, and every girl's dream is to have deep pockets, and these have the deepest pockets. I love this little ruffle on the top, and I love them. I feel I'm a greaser or something. And so yeah. And I wore my Converse, my low-rise black Converse with them. I wish I could do something about that overhead light, but I can't. Because it's really dim when my head is covering it, and then it's awkward when it's just there. I don't know. And then my makeup. My eyeliner turned out terrible today, but I did some reds and black, and you can't see from this angle, but let's see if you can see from any angles in here. I don't think you can. Black eyeshadow makes my eyes look very like Twilight Cullen-y, and I live for it. Also, I'm like greasy. Anyways, so that's the update for now, and I will talk to you guys later. Hi friends, I already took my makeup off and changed into jammies. I am now like on page 260 of the Poet X, I think. So I have a little less than 100 pages left to go. And I kind of just like bottle butted around all night and mostly like watched TikToks, and I was looking up apartments in like the Seattle area and then like places in Oregon, because my sister and I are talking about moving there next year, and it's not like a solid plan right now, but it's still like fun to look at stuff. But yeah, that's my reading update, and I need to go to the library soon and pick up a picture book called Lowriders to the Center of the Universe, or maybe to the Center of the Earth. I don't know. I have to read it for my class. I don't know. I might do that Saturday before work, because I don't really want to go during my lunch break, and they close by the time I get off work. I'm gonna go get ready for bed, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello. Your girl is tired. I just got home from work, and I'm about to cook dinner. And by cook, I mean I'm gonna heat up this tomato basil soup, because I don't feel like cooking, and it's about the only thing I have in the house right now. So, the reason I'm so tired is because at work, one of my student workers and I had to work on packing up our media room, which is like drawers and drawers and drawers of like cassette tapes, because we're like putting something different in that room, and it was just a lot of like bending and packing boxes, and I have a bad back, and so that was not good for that, but we got almost finished in like 4 hours, so that was really good. Also, semi-funny story, but kind of not. When I go home for lunch almost every single day, because I literally live about 5 minutes from work, and today there was random storms all day long, and it wasn't raining too bad when I left to go to lunch, but when I was going back to work, it just like torrential downpour, and I was like, so my parking lot at my apartment doesn't have good like drainage, and so anytime it rains excessively, there's like huge puddles of water, and I was trying to avoid stepping in them. And so I was like, well, if I go through the grass, it's a shorter distance to my car, and I won't have to try to hop over this giant puddle. So I'm like walking through the grass, and there's like a little ditch that drains water, and there's some rocks in it. So I was like, okay, if I step on this rock and then hop over to the other side, then I'll avoid the water, like the big puddles. Well, funny story, also not that funny. I stepped on the rock, and then when I got over, it was just as wet on the other side as it was like in the ditch or in any of the puddles. So my right foot was soaked like all afternoon at work, and it was not a fun time. And I need to buy a new pair of Converse, because anytime it rains and I step in more than like an inch of water, like, it soaks through the bottom of my shoe, and it's very upsetting, and so they're just worn out. But I'm having trouble finding solid black low-rise Converse anywhere. I looked for them this weekend at Shoe Carnival, and I just don't want to order them online because, like, I know I'll have to pay for shipping if I buy them in store, and I won't. So yeah, but that's my story. Here's today's Halloween shirt. I like it a lot. It's very comfy. We just have this orange circle with bats and this spooky tree, and it's from Old Navy in 2009. So I mean, I didn't buy it in 2009. I got it at a thrift store, but that's when it was made. And I don't know if you can see, but I have jack-o'-lantern socks on, so double spooky. And my makeup, we got the orange, yeah. So anywho, I'm gonna go eat dinner and chill out. And I told myself earlier that I was gonna do homework tonight, so I really need to do that, but I am so tired. So I need to do at least something, but I don't know how much I'll do. But I'll talk to you guys later. Hi there, I just wanted to hop on and say that I just finished my reread of The Poet X, and it was 5 stars again. This book is so good. I just like the discussions, the conflict, the struggles, everything about it is just powerful and moving, and it's awesome. And though I don't relate to Xiomara in like the exact same ways, I do like understand her struggles with religion, because I am a Christian and I don't blindly believe in whatever is preached at me or things that have been preached at me in the past. I am very liberal in terms of my faith, if that makes any sense. And so I understand her questioning and things like that. And so I just love her story, and I love her development and the struggles that she faces. Well, I don't love the struggles, but I love like seeing her overcome those struggles, and I love that there's not a perfect ending. Like, there's still problems between her and her mom, but they're working on it. And yeah, it's just a great book, and I'm so glad that I reread it. I'm still sitting on my couch in the same position as I have been for like all of the updates I've done today, but I don't think I've talked about this yet, but when I finished Esperanza Rising, that was the 100th book that I've read this year, and like, that is mind-boggling to me, because I don't know that I've read 100 books in a year ever. And like, just thinking about 2 years ago when I started tracking my reading and when I really like got back into reading like hardcore, like in 2017, I started tracking my reading in May, and from May to December I read 37 books. And then last year I read 90 books, which is like a gigantic increase from 37, obviously. And then this year, it's October, it's the first week of October, and I've read 101 books. And I'm just like, who am I? And I think part of it is like, I live on my own now. I'm not, like, I'm in grad school, but all my classes are online, so I'm not like going to class. Like, I have a full-time job. I work 8 to 5 4 days a week, and then 12 to 5 1 day a week. But like, I none of my friends live close to me anymore, and so I have a lot more time to just do what I feel like doing, and that is reading. And so I'm just like, also like, I'm just picking up books that I'm super interested in. I've only read like, I don't know, 5 or 6 books below 3 stars this year, so that's like incredible. And so I'm like loving most of what I'm reading, and so I'm just reading a ton, and I hope that like for the rest of my life I can keep up this pace and read 100 plus books a year. And I don't know, I was like getting a little bit emotional earlier, just like thinking about how much reading has impacted me in the last 2 years, and really my whole life. Like my whole life I've been a reader. I've loved reading, but when I like started watching BookTube in 2016 or 2017, and I realized there was a community of people who read constantly and love to talk about books, and I just like became obsessed with reading again. I don't know, it's incredible. And I'm going to school to be a librarian. Like when I went to college, I wanted to be a marriage and family therapist, and now like I know that's not what I would want to do for the rest of my life, and I'm so happy to be like on this path to becoming a librarian. And like I don't know, I'm so happy. I love reading. It's the best. And yeah, that's my gush session over. Hey guys, I just got home from work a little bit ago, and I just finished dinner, and I made pancakes again because I need to get groceries, and that's just what I was feeling. So what can you do? But anyways, not even in frame. I have done some reading today. So I read Lowriders to the Center of the Universe, no, to the Center of the Earth by Cathy Camper, illustrated by Raul III. And this was a really good, actually. This is the second in a series of graphic novels, but this was the one that was on our list for my multicultural literature class. And it is super good. It won the Pura Belpré Award. And let me just like show you this art style. I think it's done with like just pen, and it's like all in black, green, red, and blue. And let's see, like look how cool this is. Can you see up close? Like, I don't know. And a lot of it is in Spanish, but whenever the Spanish is used, like it's mainly like, it's a good mix of Spanglish, like, but whenever Spanish words are used, they do a little asterisk, and then they put the word, like the meaning, down at the bottom. So that's super helpful for people who don't speak Spanish. And then I also am reading Under the Mesquite by Guadalupe, Garcia, and McCall. And this is another book that's told in verse, and so far I like it. I only have like a handful of pages left, but I like had to close up at work and I couldn't finish it. But I will talk more about it when I finish reading it here in a little bit. So I've done some good reading, and then I have to write book reviews for each of them for my class, and they're like super detailed book reviews, and there's a lot that goes into them, and so it takes a while. But I got to do that. I need to read for my library management class, and just do like other school stuff. So after I finish Under the Mesquite, I'm probably going to wrap this week of vlogging up, and then tomorrow or later tonight I'll start this next week's vlog. Also, last night I read volume 10 of My Hero Academia because I just laid down in bed and like didn't want to play on my phone, so I just decided to pick that up. And it was a really, really great one. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And it's from one of my favorite like sections of episodes. And so I'm excited to like finish the next 3 that I have. And then the anime comes back on the 10th, I think. So I want to finish all 3 of those volumes before that comes out, and it'll be a good time. But anyways, I will come back and talk to you guys here in a little bit. Okay, I just got off here like 2 seconds ago, but I wanted to show you guys my shirt for the day so that I can change out of my pants that I'm wearing, because nobody likes to wear jeans when they get home and they just want to be comfy. So here's the shirt. It says ghouls want to have fun, and it's just like a little baseball tee. And I don't know if you can see it, but I've just got some like ripped jeans on. And I went to have like coffee with some of my friends this morning. They recently got married and moved out of state, and so it was really, really nice to get caught up with them. And but I spent way too long doing my makeup, and then I didn't have time to do anything with my hair, so I obviously just threw it in a ponytail. But my makeup, you can see I did oranges again, and okay, here's the thing. Whenever I try to use tape to get a like solid cut on my eyeshadow and my eyeliner, my eyes are not equal. Like they're not the same like amount of liddedness, and so they never come out even. And I keep like looking over to the side because I want to see if it's in view, but you can probably tell like this side is not the same angle as this one, and it's just frustrating. But so anyways, so when I mess up and it's like not equal, then I like take the tape off and I try to fix it, and then the wings just get longer and longer and longer, and eventually they're just gonna like go into my hairline, and that's not cute. But I don't know, I always spend too long doing it, and then I get frustrated, and then like right before I have to leave, I'm just like, screw it, I'm done, I can't, bye. So anyways, yeah, this is the shirt for the day, and yeah, I just finished Under the Mesquite, and I don't think I'm gonna rate it, but I really enjoyed it. It was a story about this girl, and she has 7 siblings, and she's from Mexico, and her family goes back and forth between the United States and Mexico. They live on a border town, so they can pass through. I think they like go to school in Mexico, and then on the weekends they go to the States. And it's just kind of about her growing up and experiencing different things, and a lot of the story has to deal with her mother getting cancer and how that affects the family. And so it was just like I think it went through like all of her years of high school, even into like going to college, and then it did like a flashback of when she was really little. But maybe she like goes to school in the States and goes to Mexico on the weekends. I don't know, either way. But yeah, it was really good. I liked that it was told in verse, and I would be interested to listen to the audiobook of it to see how it's read, but I read it really fast, and yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. The multicultural aspects were really good. There's a lot of talk about, like, especially since the main character like goes back and forth between the States and Mexico, her friends make fun of her and like get mad at her that she like acts white because she's trying to change the way she speaks in order to become an actress. And just like, I don't know, there's a lot of good discussion about culture and like just dealing with expectations of Mexican parents and things like that. And so I learned some good stuff, and it was a good time. I didn't tell you earlier what Lowriders to the Center of the Earth was about, but it's about these three like friends, I think. Since I didn't read the first volume, I don't really know their backstory, but there's an octopus and a mosquito and a dog lady, I think. And they, in this particular volume, they lose their cat, and they have to go on this mission to find the cat because they miss him a lot. And then they run into Aztec gods, and they have to fight to get the cat back. And it was really funny, and a lot of really great cultural references, and the art was gorgeous. But yeah, so that's my reading update. I think I'm going to wrap up this segment of the month-long vlogs. I will see you guys next week in the next vlogs. Bye.